What's up, guys? Mason the Brock Henderson here, and last Thursday night show review for today. This is Elementary Season 4, Episode 12, A View with a Room. And I love this show. It is so much fun, and they do such a good job of mixing a case with possibly another case going on, while still having personal stuff going on around that. Because the best way I can think to describe it is you've got, okay, like I said, you've got the case. The case almost always is a good. I cannot think of one case in particular that made me groan and say this was such a stupid case. Why would you have something like this? I can't think of one. Now maybe there have been some, but honestly, the cases are always good, and the personal stuff is always something fun. Sometimes it's even something extremely serious. But they always manage to have something a bit relatable. Even when you're dealing with the world's greatest detective, the smartest man alive, however you want to call him, it's always something relatable going on. And this episode, exactly what I wanted from it. You've got a case where first, it doesn't start off as a case, and I actually was wondering, are they not going to have a case this week? Is this going to be something bold and interesting? They didn't go all out bold, which I don't mind. I don't mind the fact that they didn't exactly go, okay, we're going to have this, and this, and this. And a lot of twists and turns. But, they did have a pretty interesting case, because it starts off as a heist. There's this guy he's undercover in a biker gang, and they're not like they're not like one of the good biker gangs, if you could call them that, but they are like seriously bad people. Vandals, beating up people, blah blah blah. But what's interesting is that it starts off as that, and then all of a sudden the inside guy is gone, like he's dead. And now it becomes obviously the leader of the biker gang, he's missing. He's obviously the one that did it. No, they capture him and he says, I didn't do it. If you do catch the guy who did it, I want them in my cell because they brought you guys down on me. It's just like, okay, see, that makes a bit of sense. So somebody else killed him. And this is one of the ones that I really enjoy because you can kind of start to theorize what happened. How did he die? How did he manage to get in an accomplice to fake a video? Because you start to find out that the video is fake. You find out that the member of the bike gang turns out to be the victim that you see in the video. So the person playing him was somebody that is not him, obviously. But how are they able to get into the office and fake it when Sherlock himself was trying to find a way in, and it took him forever to even find a way for one person to make it in? And so this is one that you can kind of start to theorize what happened, how did they do it. I kind of figured it out, but I actually took a clue that didn't mean what I thought it meant. When they were talking about the missing rug, I was like, maybe that's because the rug was never there, but then they found out that the rug was there. But anyway, I was kind of thinking, well, maybe the rug wasn't there because it wasn't the same room. It was made to look like the room, and that's what it was. But as it turns out, the reason that they found it is because the rug was there, but when they found the rug, there's like a stain that was on it that wasn't on the rug in the video. And so that's how they were able to piece it together. I'm like, see, I was right, but I was right in the wrong way. I figured out everything wrongly. That's bizarre. It really is strange to come at the same conclusion without the right facts, without making the right deduction. Anyway, but the case itself was good. You find out whose accomplice is. Once you find that out, you realize it has to be her because that's the only person that could have done it. Now you just need to figure out how. You can kind of figure out why. But like I said, case straightforward, but good. The personal stuff also very interesting. You've got the girl that made the code for the self-driving car thing from a few episodes ago. She's back, and she's asking Watson to look into her boss. You slowly start to find out that she and Holmes have an attraction to each other, and I, I'm still firmly. They didn't exactly touch on this, but I am of the belief that she didn't actually want Watson to look into her boss. I think she wanted to talk to Watson to talk to Holmes because she's not very good at that stuff because she's, like she said, she's neuroatypical. Um, so she can't exactly do well in social conversations and situations. And Holmes doesn't normally either. Even though he's gotten better about handling people, he's still not 100% used to that. And so I think she wanted to talk to Watson so she could get through to Holmes about certain stuff. And Holmes starts to figure out, wait a second, you like her. And from there, it did turn a bit into, it got a bit too cheesy when she was talking to him about it at first. Because he even made a crack about it. You're talking about like a prepubescent teen or something like that. Because she did sound very like, I can't even think of the right word, but it didn't sound like Watson, the Watson I've come to know. She was just like, oh my gosh, you like her, like her. I'm just like, what is going on? This is a little weird. But that didn't last too long, and the conversation they have a little bit later, as they're looking through some of the files on the computer, that conversation was well done when he's talking about, you know, how would I even approach this. They start talking a bit about Irene and slash Moriarty, how just because things didn't work out with her doesn't mean things aren't going to work out with this girl. I think her name's Fiona. So it was handled very well in that scene. It just wasn't handled well at first. But I do kind of like the thought of giving him somebody that he can really connect to. And the possibility of, if Irene slash Moriarty figures out about this, she could possibly not like the fact that there's another woman in Sherlock's life. Now, I honestly can't remember where Moriarty is right now or what's going on with her, because I can't remember the last time we've seen her. But either way, she won't like it when she finds out. So that could be an interesting story to take, and do something very fun and interesting with. But I kind of like the way it ends too. Like, it doesn't end with them like hooking up or anything. It just ends with them sort of expressing themselves how they normally do, very bluntly, just talking about without any reservations, any thought to, is this going to be awkward? Because they don't understand awkwardness that well. So I like that. I like the fact that they just kind of talked about it and then they go out to grab a cup of coffee. That's good. And I do hope she sticks around for a few episodes, because she does seem like a good fit for Sherlock in that she's a bit kind of robotic, and so is he. Like, at times he can be very robotic in the way he talks and the way he reasons through things. So I like the fact that they're sort of butting that romance just a little bit. I just hope it doesn't like take up a whole lot of the story. I do want it to stay on the outside of whatever case is going on that week. But it's a good choice for me, and I hope that they do something very interesting with it. So, overall, good case, good personal stuff on the outside. It's another good episode of Elementary. That's what they do so well. They have that good mixture of, we have a good case this week, we also have this stuff going on in their lives. I like that, and I hope they continue that because they do it very well. And, that's pretty much it for this week. Not a whole lot to talk about on the besides that. You find out a bit more about Sherlock's dad's attempted murder a little bit at the beginning. Just pretty much that Sherlock's struggling with it. He's still trying to follow pretty much any lead he can to get to it. But we'll see where it goes. For now, though, it's kind of it's there, but it's still not being addressed. So um, that's it for this week. So let me know in the comments down below what you thought of this episode, and where you hope it takes all of this with Holmes's dad and this new girl coming into Sherlock's life. Let me know what you think is going to happen next, and leave a like and subscribe for more elementary content. Check out my other videos, and I'll see you next week. Peace out.